I did the most classic simp thing to you on the weekend, Connor, where I got like really fucking pissed and I just messaged
It
you
was so
like,
sweet.
I love our show. I love you. Oh, talking about Doctor Who's so good. I love doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah.
that was great.
It was really kind of like wholesome. I wasn't
It
expecting
was.
it, but I got all these messages on Saturday. It was really sweet. It was really kind. I don't care, and you can simp for me. I'm glad you love the show as much as I do. It it,
Yeah.
it it's so much more successful than I thought it would be. I didn't think it would. I don't know. When you said we should do it again, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll work, but
Yeah.
we
But hey,
defined all odds. I don't know
that's
how, but
right.
we did.
We are defining all the oods.
The Oods, yeah. Did you turn your camera off? Because I feel like you did.
I did.
There's a huge storm in Perth right now, folks, and there's going to be. We're trying to stop lag between our conversation because it's just like it's like an absolute fucking storm out there today. I would know.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in it all day. I literally got absolutely drenched
I
from
saw.
my socks to my head. Yeah, it was awful.
So
Fucking
if you
sucked.
hear all the wind and the rains outside, we apologise. If it gets really bad, we'll go on standby and we'll be back after some messages. I don't know. But
Aidan just left the window open. That's why it's so loud.
that's right. Yeah, it's just my neighbour yelling actually.
As per usual.
As per usual.
As per usual.
Connor, I have a fun thing for us to do at the start of this.
Oh hell
the
yeah!
start
I'm
of today.
excited. Let's do it.
Damn right. Yeah. So I literally found it like half an hour ago. I was scrolling through
Okay.
Twitter, and are you familiar with the game 20 Questions?
Yeah.
So I found like a version of like a Doctor Who version that like guesses the character or monster or species or just anything Doctor Who that you're thinking of.
Okay.
So I thought,
That's cool.
you think of something, anything, right? It can be a sentient being, a place, a thing, or something unknown. You just think of
Okay.
anything Doctor Who related, and I'm gonna work this machine, and we're gonna
I love
see
it. This
if
is great.
this computer can figure out what Doctor Who thing you're thinking about. Okay?
Okay, so it could be anything.
Anything.
Okay. Alright, I think I've got... yeah, I got something.
Okay, so the first question:
Okay.
is it a sentient being, place, or a thing, or is it unknown?
So when you say the first one, a being, do you mean like...
Is it like a creature that's intelligent, like a...
Yeah, it's a creature, yeah. It's like a... I wouldn't say it's a alien, but it kind of is.
Okay. Did it ever cross paths with the 10th Doctor?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Is it scarier than a Cyberman?
No.
No. Was it originally human?
No.
Did it ever meet Rose Tyler?
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be... I feel like I've got too much of an easy one. God.
Is it edible?
No.
Does it feel love?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Does it have powers of regeneration?
No.
Is it wise?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. Yeah.
Is it furry?
No.
Does it have any family?
Yes, I'd say yes, yeah.
Can it take human form?
No.
Does it have historic significance?
As in for like the show itself?
No.
Or-
I'd say probably in terms of like history, like human history. Like, did it?
No.
It, no.
No.
Is it larger than a Sontaran?
No.
Sontarans are pretty short. Remember that?
No, it's not.
No. Okay, we're on question 15, so he's only got 5 more to guess it. Is it female?
Okay. It's not, no.
Is it smaller than a Dalek?
Yes.
I am guessing that it is the Ood.
Are you saying that or is it saying that?
That's what it's saying.
No, it's K9.
Oh, you weren't supposed to tell me. Let's see if we can guess. I'm gonna go.
Oh,
with
sorry. I thought
wrong.
that was I thought that was a thing. Guessing
So the
it.
next question is it alien? No, not really. Is it robotic? Yes. Ah! And question 20. I'm guessing that it's canine.
Fuck.
Wow.
Oh shit! Sorry, I thought you said it says it's this.
That's what it said. No, but that was it guessing. So you can click like no, and it'll keep asking more questions.
Shit.
Wow, but it got you on question 20. It's canine.
Shit.
How was
Not
that?
bad. I always wondered how the hell it does this. I used to have like the Red Bull toy that you could play with,
Yeah.
and it would normally always guess what the hell you were thinking of, and I never really understood how it worked. Still, was it just use the internet or something? And like,
I guess. I don't know. That was fun,
It
though.
must.
I kind of want to do it again, but it's probably not fun for the listeners at all.
I thought that was very good, Aidan.
Good
glad
start to
you
the show.
come
So we go
to
into
the
the
show
intro
and,
then. Our favourite rap intro for
with a
MTV.
plan.
MTV's 50% Doctor Who podcast.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, let's hit it, Conor.
All right. Press that button, Aidan.
I'm pressing the button now.
50% podcast.
Whoa, now I've unpressed the button, and we're back to the show. Back to the regularly
His
scheduled
is
program.
on the button.
So today, I actually have points about today's episode, which we will get into shortly. So hopefully we'll be on track for an episode that's a little more on topic than last week, although last week was a lot of fun.
It was. I'm halfway through listening to it again. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's just whack the shit we talk about. I was editing it and was like, oh my god. We talk about a lot of Doctor Who related stuff though, so it's still relevant, I guess.
Yeah, of course. 50% Doctor Who podcast over here, folks. You know what you're getting into.
That is damn freaking right. Where we review every episode of the show since the revival, and today we are reviewing the Shakespeare Code. That's season 3, episode 2. It was broadcast on BBC One on the 7th of April 2007. According to the Barb figures, this episode was seen by 7.23 million viewers and was the 5th most popular broadcast on British television in that week. Originally titled Love Labours 1, the episode was retitled as a reference to the Da Vinci Code. In the episode, the alien time traveler, the Doctor, David Tennant, takes his new traveling companion, Martha Jones, Freema Agyeman, in her first trip in time and space. They arrive in 1599 near the Globe Theatre in Southwark, where they meet the playwright William Shakespeare. Shakespeare is being bewitched by 3 witch-like Carrionites to rewrite the ending to his play Love Labours 1, so that the performers will create the right words to free the rest of the Carrionite race from imprisonment. Conor,
Uh-oh.
let's talk about the program.
Okay, so first off, Aidan, jumping straight into it. This is a
go
very
on.
controversial writer this week.
Who do we have writing? Gareth Roberts.
Gareth Roberts. Yeah.
Mr. Capaldi hater. Isn't that
Yeah.
right?
And I believe, I don't want to put words into his mouth. I know Dylan messaged me and was like, uh-oh, he's a bit of a fucking twat in real life. Apparently he's like, I don't know, something shitty. I don't know. But like, I was kind of like reading about it and I was like, oh, this is a bit dodgy. But it's interesting that he wrote the second episode, I think. We kind of haven't really seen that before. It's normally like, it's normally Mark or Russell. So I thought it was kind of interesting, especially for like the first, proper one with Martha.
I guess, yeah.
I do love how this episode fucking begins with a man trying to get laid, pretty much. Like he's like singing.
It's relatable. It's got to get the audience in relatability.
Yeah, it's a bloke. He's like singing outside someone's window. And she's like, "All right, come up. It's time to doink." And he's like, "Oh hell yeah, I'd love to do that." And then I remember watching this episode with my sister, and that we couldn't get past the first scene because she got scared, and we had to turn it off, and we had to skip to Gridlock.
What,
So-
when the witch is on the wall and she drops?
Yeah, literally, like that scene. Yeah. So
So goofy.
Yeah. So that scene terrified my sister. So we had to skip. Like, Mum was like, "We're not watching that one. We have to skip it." And we watched Gridlock instead. And I went back and watched it by myself. It's a pretty standard episode. I've never loved it.
Yeah, neither.
I do. You always say like you do appreciate how they do like a past, and obviously next week's a future.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think the show it was kind of going back to the show's educational roots, which of course they do a lot more in 11 and 12, but especially 11.
Yeah, it's not like particularly that educational, other than just saying like William Shakespeare is a person that used to write plays.
Yeah, you get to see like the Globe Theatre stuff. A cool thing is,
I guess, yeah.
What was it? Love Labour's one was like the play that notoriously went missing, which is pretty cool. So like, I like when Doctor Who does that. Like, of course, they do the kind of similar thing with Agatha Christie in Unicorn and the Wasp when she disappeared for a couple of days as well, and they explain that in Doctor Who. Obviously, it's not really what happened, but
what
that really happened.
What?
I think it's cool, but I don't think it's great. I think the witches are all right. There's some cool costumes. Mother Doomfinger, it's pretty funny. I like the scene in the asylum. The ending's pretty exciting.
With the Queen.
Yeah, of course. And does that tie into Day of the Doctor?
Yeah, I was reading somewhere about it online somewhere. But good lord, I don't remember where it is. Give me a second. You keep talking and I'll have a look.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that ties in. It's a bit weird how the episode kind of gets saved by saying Expelliarmus. And we hear the Doctor go, "Oh, good old JK," and they mention
doesn't really make sense,
the
but
final
it's
book. Yeah, they mentioned the final book, which is cool. We're gonna see more cringy scenes of the Doctor and Martha, where Martha's trying to hit on the doc, and he's like, "Oh, you wouldn't know, Rose. She went to another school," which is a good meme that went around Tyler's posting once. He's still kind of like hung up on her. I think it annoys me how they wrote Martha as a bit of she can't like get over the Doctor, and she continues not to until the end of the season. I wish she was like more strong, because it kind of like lets her down. And I feel like, because I've watched Gridlock as well. I won't say much about that, but it happens there as well quite a bit. And the Doctor just constantly kind of puts her down, and it's like, I think it's hard for the audience to try and relate to Martha when like they're trying to get over Rose, and it's almost like the writing saying you have a right to still be annoyed that Martha's the companion. It's a bit weird. I kind of got that vibe. That might just be me.
Yeah.
I like the whole Shakespeare thing. It's a cool thing. I've never been massively into theatre. I think it's okay. We've actually started to play together, Aidan. So
we have. I wouldn't say starred. We featured in it.
Well, we got written into the script. We weren't even like characters from the script.
That's right.
We were the main stars, Aidan. Please be more kind of yourself. But yeah, I didn't hate it as much as I did as a youngling. But yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. The ending with Queen Elizabeth was Russell T Davis's idea, who told Robert to make it a little like the ending of The One Doctor, which is a big Finnish production written by Gareth Roberts as well. There you go. That's what I read about that. Not as much of an interesting fact as I thought it was. Conor, would you like to hear my thoughts on the Shakespeare Code?
I really bloody would, Aidan, if you don't mind.
Because a little bit of context is that myself, Mr. Aidan Green, never really gravitated towards this episode this much. So, like, I always, as a kid, I never dug historicals. They were always my least favorite episodes of a series.
Totally
I don't know
agree.
why. Guess I was just like a naive young man. But as I've grown up, I tend to find them the ones that I prefer. Quite often ones that are in like World Wars and stuff are some highlights to me. But then I also love sort of, what's it called? Like Victorian London, like this kind of thing, you know?
The Paternoster Gang. I always say it wrong, but...
Gang. I love those settings. I love the creepy atmosphere of them. The creepy atmosphere that the setting presents, yet it doesn't even have to be like a creepy episode, you know what I mean? And I had a lot of fun with this episode, Conor. I did not think I would. I thought I was going to watch it and be like, that was all right. But no, Mr. Conor Hannum, I had some good fun with this one. I think
Conor the hater.
And the third act, they were a lot of fun. The first act I was like totally drawn into the setting. I also love the whole concept of witch trials, and sort of that thing is so spooky to me as like a setting. Yeah,
because it kind of did happen, didn't it?
Yeah, the witch trials happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it. That's the kind of thing as well. Like it does have that element of like, this kind of actually did happen. Like if you were if
Yeah,
you were
like,
said that
obviously
you
that
were the
wasn't-
witch of the village, your life would be ruined forever, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty fucked up what happened there. I did feel the second act was a little boring. It was a little like, oh, we'll just go here and investigate this and that, and it got a little stale. And it also featured, like you said, that scene with the Doctor and Martha, which to me was definitely the lowest part of the episode. I've got a great behind-the-scenes fact about that for when we get to that segment. But yeah, that scene was just so cringe to me, and it's just such a shame that Freema's character was written that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Because,
yeah.
She's written very well, very strong throughout her whole run on the show, but she just gets given this really shitty side arc about her and the Doctor, and every time it comes up, it's just it's so forced, and it's just so like, Martha's better than this as a character. And I think it's kind of out of character for someone who's that strong to sort of be sort of pulled along by this mystery man. I guess it shows her vulnerable side and gives her an element of vulnerability for the audience to relate to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, sadly, I do think it's kind of like what I was saying. Like, I know people were so hung up over Rose going, and I think the writing really didn't help her. Like, it didn't really help people get used to her, because she was just being like, it was like, oh, she's just trying to be Rose and she's going to be like this forever and all that, and it kind of annoyed people, which is annoying, but it's true.
Yeah. I love the lighting this episode. Quite often when I talk about season 3, I always think it's so unique in tone. There's something warm and cozy about it. And I think that's down to two things. One is Murray's score, which is great in this episode, as always. The Carrie Night Swarm is a great piece of music. It's fucking awesome. But the second thing is just like, there's certain episodes in this series that just have like a nice warm lighting, and with this being sort of a fire-lit episode by candles and lanterns and whatnot, it sort of allowed this nice warm look to the show. Which I thought was really nice. It felt real cozy whilst also being real creepy where it needed to be, you know? Yeah, like I said, I love the era and the setting, and I think the set pieces were awesome. We were talking a couple of times in the historicals where it kind of feels like the historicals often, the sets aren't being built. Like they quite often, the production design feels quite cheap. Whereas in this episode, it definitely wasn't that. It felt like a lot was put into this episode. And it looks really good. It looks really good. I know. What do you think? Do you think it was sort of one of the best looking historicals we'd had, just in terms of the sets
I
they
agree.
had?
Yeah, even like there's even that scene when they first come out of the TARDIS, and it's like, you know, you get to see the whole like open area and stuff. You can see everyone walking around.
Yeah, that's great.
Even someone like chucks the whole load of like shit down and it hits the floor.
I
love
never
that.
noticed Martha walks through that.
Yeah. I did. Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't pick up on that last time. Yeah, I agree. Like, I do like the whole candlelight thing, and I think it did have that element even when I was a young lad to like scare me. Like I said, enough that like we had to like switch the episode over because of like it was instantly like even that scene where like, you know, like at the beginning, like I said, like, you know, they go through what looks like a normal area, and then it turns into like the whole witch's hut. It's like hell creepy, and because that stuff kind of happened, you're a bit like, oh, that's a bit weird. It's a bit dodgy,
isn't it?
Bit spooky.
Yeah.
Mother Doomfinger,
man.
my boo.
Yeah, she's spooky, eh?
Mother Boofinger, more like.
Shut the fuck up. Oh man.
Did you like the villains this week?
You know, they're definitely corny and cringy, but I fucked with it. I just had fun, especially the main chick, Lilith, played by Christina Cole.
She is very beautiful.
She is a beautiful lady, and she did a great job in her role. I thought she did amazing.
Yeah, she did. Oh, it has that classic scene, by the way, I don't know, I've always laughed at it, because Dan came in one day, and he was like, oh, I rewatched the episode last night where that guy's walking, and suddenly he just starts, like, coughing up water, and I was like, that's so funny, and I had to go back and rewatch it, like, when I came home from school that day, and now, fucking 6 years later, I'm rewatching it, I'm sending the same photos to Daniel going, isn't this a great scene? I love that scene. It's actually really cool. Like it's pretty inventive. Like, you know, the whole what are they called, voodoo dolls?
Yeah.
And they knock out Shakespeare. They take out one of the Doctor's hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bada boomba!
Cool. Oh, that's a great scene, actually. That little thing there. I've only got one heart. How do you do that?
Bada boomba!
Bada boomba! That's great. David's got some great rhythm. Like, last week he was doing the whole like shaking his leg and he was doing like that. And then this week he's doing like the bada boomba and shit like that. Like, he's just got like rhythm to the sounds he's making.
Also, Back to the Future gets a cool reference, which is really cool.
When was that? What was the reference?
Well, the Doctor tries. Martha's like, "Well, hang on a minute. The world doesn't end now because obviously I was born in 2000 whatever." And he's like, "Actually, it's a bit like Back to the Future."
Yes.
Because if it changes here, that kind of thing. I think Back to the Future gets mentioned twice. I think it's the first time that pretty big time travel movie like that got mentioned, with Back to the Future being one of my favorite movies of all time. As a young laddin, it was really damn cool, Aidan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't lie to you. I just can't do it physically. The words wouldn't come out.
No, you couldn't do it, could it?
No, not at all.
Oh, crazy boy. How good were I don't know, you might have mentioned this before, some of the VFX, like they're obviously not great now, but I think I thought they held up really well. Especially in particular some of the like CGI shots. Sure, not so much just of like the stills of the globe for like setting pieces, but like the shots where there was like a cool camera movement that like came down onto the village around the globe. And then you'd see all the Carrionite things like flying around in the sky. They were some cool shots.
Don't you love how they get at the end, they obviously get like saved to like the crystal ball, and you see them again.
You do
in Unicorn and the Wasp.
Yes.
Like randomly, it's so weird. Like it only hit me the other day rewatching it. I was like, hang on a minute. You see them again. Actually, come to think of it, Gareth Roberts must have written that one as well, actually, because otherwise it wouldn't. I don't see why it would be in there. But
they might have just done it as like a funsy thing. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there.
In season 4, folks.
In season 4. This episode was directed by Charles Palmer, who directed last week, and like I said last week, I'm pretty sure I said he directs the Family of Blood. Yeah, and then comes back in series 10. So that's pretty cool. Pretty good direction this week, I thought. Yeah, good stuff. And then I also... Okay, here's a good talking point for us. Did you think... well, actually, I'll rephrase this. I think the Doctor was written really great this episode. In particular in the first half, and I think David's performance really well complemented it. When he took Martha out of the TARDIS and they're sort of exploring London and stuff, it just feels like he has a wall up where he's sort of like built a wall up so that he doesn't get too close to Martha, and whilst he still wants to have someone there, he doesn't want to have that relationship that he had with Rose. And it felt real. Like, he was a bit more blunter with what he was saying. There wasn't, like, intrigue and wonder. He was just sort of like, this is what time travel is, and here is a medieval city. It's pretty cool. I'm not saying he was a dick. He was nice. But it did seriously, like, there was some subtextual level there where there was, like, a wall. And I thought that was really well executed.
Yeah, I agree. I really do love it. It's such a different dynamic from what we're used to. And that's why I'm enjoying it so much. And, like... watching it quicker than I normally do, which I know is a bit cheeky, but I'm really enjoying it. And I think, like you said last week, it's just a really good breath of fresh air. And I really do like how he is like holding back and stuff. And it eventually comes out in the play. But you do get the sense that he's like, he's showing off. He's trying not to get too attached. He's just holding himself back. And then, again, I do think it is let down by the whole romance thing, but even those scenes have some cool stuff to it. Like, Rose gets a mention again. It's kind of cool how he's like, I do like how he says, like, if she was here right now, she'd know what to say.
No, that was dicky. That was dicky. I hated that.
I'm not saying it was nice of him to say. I'm just saying, like, we're all men. We've all said shit like that and not really meant it. But
fuck that shit, Conor.
Aidan, we're all human. Well, he's not.
Fuck that.
But what?
I don't like Dicky Doctor.
I don't think it's great either. I just think that it was a cool thing to say. I think it's a nice callback.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of shows that he's like he's still not over it type thing. And Rose gets 2 mentions. Even one of the witches is like, "Oh, Rose," and he's like, "How dare you? She keeps me fighting." I'm like, bro, let her go already. Nah.
Such a simp.
He is. The doc is simping hard.
Conor, I think it's time we move on to Australia's favourite segment.
Uh-oh.
It's Goof of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So,
I don't think I have one, actually.
well, here's the thing.
Second week in a row.
I figured out a way to make it so we do have one every week. Because I also didn't have one this week.
TARDIS Wiki.
TARDIS Wiki solves that, so we always have... So the listeners don't switch off when they find out there's no Goof of the Week in a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. We got to keep the fans satisfied.
Yeah, we got to give them their favourite segment. Australia's favourite segment, everybody. So we have 2 production errors this week. The first is when Lilith is attempting to charm the Doctor. She strokes his face. In the first shot, she's stroking his hair behind his ear. In the next shot, she is touching his sideburn. And her fingers shifted behind her again in the following shot. You know what is so funny about that?
What?
I was literally watching that scene, and then I remembered, Go for the Week. I was like, oh, I don't have one yet. I've got about 20 minutes left of the episode. Maybe I should keep an eye out. And I was watching that, and I watched her put her hand there, and I was like, oh, I'll see if it's sort of in the exact same spot in the next shot. You know, it's a close-up. It'll be easy to tell. I still didn't fucking tell. Like, I don't know what happened there.
You're slacking these days.
I am. I'm just getting too invested in the episodes.
I know.
Here's a fun one, though.
You for that.
A fun goof.
Yep.
When the crowd is chanting, Author!
Author!
Which is a brilliant, fun scene, I thought. A shot of one of the wooden beams has Bay J printed on it. This is part of the reconstructed globe and wouldn't have been present in the original. So they must have shot this at the actual globe that they created in London.
No
There was
way.
like a rebuilt one there.
Cool.
I didn't actually know that. Yeah. It says here in filming locations they shot it there, yeah.
That's sick. I did not know that.
Very cool, very cool.
That's very jazzy.
Yeah. So you don't have any production errors or goof of the week this week?
No, I actually don't. Maybe season 3's stepping up a little bit, and maybe they're actually like trying not to have any. Like
They probably
every TV
are.
show should.
You know, it's 2007. The years are going on. The production value is getting up. They're getting more money into it. More time being spent on it. So I can imagine that as we go through the show, there'll be less and less goofs of the week. But it is still a program, and it's pretty much impossible. Here's the thing. Disclosure about this segment. Is no matter what show or movie you look for, there's always going to be something like someone's hand not being in the same shot in the next shot or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
There's always going to be that kind of thing. So I just think it's a fun segment to look at those kind of things, you know.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
And Australia loves it.
Yeah, it's Australia's favourite segment, Aidan.
It is Australia's favourite segment. On that note, shall we move on to Australia's second favourite segment, Conor?
I love it. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about this thing.
Alrighty. It's Behind the Scenes!
Oh, yeah.
I love how you have every time you do Go for the Week, you do like your but when I'm like, Australia, Behind the Scenes, you're like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do with this one because it's such a new segment. It's a new segment, it's a great segment. Yay! Is that just what you're going to do every week?
Yay!
Oh fuck, I'll just edit that at the end of the sting. Just so I don't have to say it.
So I don't even have to do it. I love it.
Okay, so Gareth Roberts' first writing credit, we know that. Although he did write Attack of the Grass.
Attack of the Grass. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, he did.
And he wrote in the novel Only Human, which I read earlier this year, which is a Chris Eccleston novel with Jack and Rose in it.
Is it good?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty fun.
I didn't know you read that.
as I said earlier on, this episode's title was originally Love Labour's 1, which I thought was cool. But by the time production, the title had changed to Theatre of Doom, which is definitely too cringy. But according to David Tennant's video diary shot during production and included as a bonus feature of the Series 3 DVD set, Tennant remarks that the title would likely change before broadcast, suggesting Theatre of Doom was only a permanent title. That's
Theatre of
right?
Mother Doomfinger.
That's right. That's right. Okay, here is the big one that I think was very interesting, and you know what? It makes you think about our old man Gareth Roberts. All right.
Okay.
The scene in which the Doctor and Martha share a room was originally written to have the Doctor casually undressed to his underwear and still obliviously invite Martha to share the bed. It was rewritten as the producers and Tennant thought it would be inappropriate.
Ah.
Oh, Roberts is a bit of a kinky bastard, isn't he?
No. God. So his problems with like production have gone back to like season 3.
Yeah, it sounds like he just doesn't really quite get what the show is.
It's a sexual rom-com.
He does write some good episodes, you know.
Yeah, I always liked his episodes when I was younger. I didn't know he was a bit of a twat though, to be fair.
Yeah, it does just sound like he's just got a bit of a weird side to him. But, you know, in these days there's so much of that stuff going around, we must separate the art from the artist.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. Yeah. So filming for this episode took place from the 13th of August to the 15th of September 2006. They had like 3 weeks to work on that, which is pretty good. And it was described by producer Phil Collinson as the most expensive episode ever because of the large amounts of CGI and filming in Warwick, Coventry, and London. There was a lot of location filming, as you would be able to tell. And like we said, a lot of production design was put into this episode, and it wasn't done cheaply. So,
absolutely not, Aidan.
Absolutely not. One last little fact here for you. One shot of the Doctor and Martha looking at the globe was changed between the Series 3 preview at the end of The Runaway Bride and the final episode. The edge of the globe theatre has been replaced with a CGI shot of a village and the distant theatre itself. Didn't pick up on that.
No, me either.
No.
Look at that.
What a fun segment.
I love this segment, Aidan. It always sends me.
Okay. You learn everything you need to know.
Can I tell you a embarrassing story?
Yeah, go on.
About Doctor Who. And
yeah, go on.
I mentioned last week, and I've mentioned a few times, I just think it's interesting, because I'm not going to be able to say this forever on the show, but we all know I got shipped the DVDs and volumes, and that's how I watched them.
Yes. This is the third episode in a row you brought that up, but we love it. We love it. Go on.
Thank you, Aidan. I'm aware. I've got another story about it. It's pretty funny and cute and wholesome, because it showed how much I loved the show. But yeah, so I got sent it in pretty much 2 parts, like I said last week. First 2 volumes came one time, third and fourth came another time. One season there was 5 volumes. It might have been this season, not too sure. Anyway, but I got the first 2 volumes, and my auntie said she sent them off, and then from there on out, I was like constantly asking my mum when like they would arrive. I wouldn't let it go. And I think it took about 3 weeks to get to Australia, and it was like the longest 3 weeks of my life. And I would come home from school every day, and my heart would like race as my mum was driving up to our house.
Dude, I know what you mean.
Because I was like, oh my God, is it going to be there? Is it going to be there? And like it was like disappointment after disappointment every day. And then I remember it was a Friday, so in Australia there is no post on the weekends. So if it didn't come on Friday, it means I wouldn't even have a shot until Monday. And I remember it was a Friday, and we pulled up, and I would never forget the excitement when I saw the the big postage bag hanging out the thing. I remember grabbing it and like literally I just started crying. I was like, oh my God, it's here. I was like literally crying. I was so excited to sit down and finally watch some Doctor Who. I mean, this was only 6 episodes, but you know, to me,
a good time.
that was the world.
I totally know what you mean. I've said over the last few weeks, I would get the videotape sent over, which I don't. I remember waiting for the Doomsday one. Like I said, I that was sent over completely separately. That last episode, but
That's hilarious.
That is funny. But my nana would always like buy the toys when she was out, and she would just like get a few of them, and then like maybe once a month send off a parcel like full of them. I was a very spoiled young grandkid by my nana, but she loved to buy them, and yeah. So I would like. She wouldn't say when she'd sent one. Maybe she'd tell mom. I don't know. But they just sort of rock up. And I just remember like every day when I get home from school, I'd just be like, could there be one today?
Yeah.
And then sometimes there was, and it would be in this this very distinct packaging. And to this day, my nana wraps parcels for like birthdays and Christmas in the same packages and stuff. And that's the thing. She would get the Doctor Who Adventures magazines as well. And send them over
I was about to say that. My nan would always send the Doctor Who Adventures magazine, and she'd get my sister a magazine from the UK, and she would put like a load of like English sweeties in there, and I'd get maybe one like a package every month.
Yeah, it was such a cool time. To this day, whenever there's any form of parcel at the door, part of me goes like, ooh, but then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not 12 anymore. I don't get these parcels once a month.
Yeah, I've got my iPhone 12 Pro is arriving either
cool.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And again, a part of me is like that little kid again. It's like,
yeah,
when will it arrive? Will it be tomorrow?
Literally.
Will it be today?
When I ordered
unwrapping presents from yourself.
When I ordered that Series 1 to 7 box set on Blu-ray, because it took like 3 months to get here, I was literally like, from the moment it had been about a month, every day, I was like, could it be? Could it be? Could it be?
Could it be today?
There'd be a knock and I'd open the door and it'll be some shitty parcel for my mother or something. Oh, man.
Yeah, we always get the, one of our cats has had special food, and like, it's the biggest troll on earth because I hear a knock and I see a parcel and it's a box and I'm like, oh fuck, it's just Daisy's food. Like, it's every time, I swear.
She loves it.
I do love getting parcels. I've got like 2 things coming in the mail and I just get giddy, and in a couple of weeks time I'm going to, like literally in a couple of days actually, I'm going to order my second and last Hilltop Hoods instrumental vinyl. That's another thing that's going to come in the mail, and I just get giddy. It's like, it's presents from yourself. You gotta love it, you know? You gotta love it.
You do. I just love, I don't know, just getting geeky stuff online is so much fun. Waiting for that shit, you know?
I felt like such a nerd on Friday. I was waiting for my friends to get ready and text me. So I had some time, so I was like, I love Murray Gold. I haven't heard him talk about Doctor Who, so I want to like try and find some stuff. And I YouTubed like Murray Gold, and I watched this like half an hour thing, and he was just talking about composing. It was so cool. He was just saying about how like in the first season he had like something ridiculous like 2 weeks to work on the whole of season 1. Like Russell was like, I know it's a bit late, but I know, but like I love as well like how him and Russell have worked on everything together since, which is really cool.
Shame that Years and Years has never sound. Have you watched Years and Years?
I know, I really need to.
It's very, very, very good. It's very Davies era Who, you know? Like, it's very, very good.
Is it renewed or not? Because I saw it only had 1 season.
No, it only is 1 season. That's all it ever needs. Like, it's told in 6 episodes. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't think Russell ever wanted to do anything more than that.
Yeah, he seems to do that a lot, because Mum came out to the other day. She was like, I watched something on Netflix that was written by Russell, you know, that guy you like on Doctor Who. And I was like, you mean Russell T Davies? He's like, yeah, him. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, was it Years and Years? And she was like, nah, I don't think it wasn't called that. It was called like a Very British Scandal, I think. But
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It was like a 1 season thing. It was only 3 episodes. And I looked at it, like, I bet my money Murray scored it, and he did.
Amazing.
So I just watched him talk about Doctor Who, which was like really, really fucking interesting. And like he was just playing stuff live. He played Rose's theme. He played I Am the Doctor, and he finished. I couldn't believe it. He finished and the credits roll when he was playing Gallifrey Our Child at Our Home.
That's sick.
which is an absolute bop, which we'll hear at the end of this season. Yeah.
Someone needs to make a compilation of us just singing Murray.
God, I feel so sorry for everyone who has to hear us sing Murray Gold each week, but...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say you're welcome.
I was thinking today when I was driving to work, remember when, like, Dan was house sitting and we had Trevor over, and he was just playing Murray Gold. I was like, play Man the Pompadour, and he was like, yeah, sure, and he just started doing it like it was nothing. I was like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
He's very good at just, like, no, because he would listen to a lot of Murray as a kid. I don't think he learned many songs. He learned I Am the Doctor and a few other things.
Legit, piano, sent me. I was like, "Oh, play like Man the Pompadour," and he was like, "Sure." And I was like,
yeah.
"What? You know that?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he played it, and it was like pretty flawless as well. I was like, "Shit."
Yeah,
crazy.
He was just very good at like knowing a song and then just being able to play it.
Yeah, it was pretty.
He'd do Doomsday. That was
yeah, it was.
That was great.
Pretty. It was like really like it was a lot of talent. I'll just say that.
Talented guy. Yeah, I've listened to so much Murray. I'm behind on all my podcasts because whenever I go for a drive at the moment, I'm just putting on Murray. It's
Legit.
so weird.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's so weird.
I've been, yeah, I'm a bit behind on my podcast at the moment as well. Yeah, I've just been, my podcasts I listen to are like 2 hours long, and like I'm like trying to listen at work, but I couldn't really do that recently. So like yeah, I've been listening to a lot of them in my spare time, but I only at the moment I kind of only listen to H3, but H3 puts out like 4 episodes a week.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I have a lot to listen to each week, and I listen to ours each week. I don't know why, maybe it's like a vanity thing, but I think ours is so funny to listen to, and I have to listen to one of my ones of Dan each week because I make the clips for that.
Okay.
So yeah, I have to listen to quite a few episodes per week of stuff, and there's a few others that I listen to, but not every episode, just the occasional one from other people. But
yeah, I've got what do I listen to? The Scrubs Rewatch show was great. They're in season 3 now, and I'm like 1 or 2 episodes behind on that. They usually do 2 a week, but they've gone down to 1 while Zach's doing some writing. And then what else? There's a Doctor Who one I tune into, not religiously, but here and there, called the Big Blue Box Podcast. That's just a nice one if I'm thinking about Doctor Who and I just want to chuck it on. New one that I'm into a lot recently is Roger Deakins' podcast with his wife. And they just talk to so many industry professionals and just gets you so excited about filmmaking and shit like that. I love that shit. Script Notes, talk about screenwriting. That's a great one. And I've been listening to all of David Tennant's one as well, which has just finished season 2 with Billy Piper's episode, which is great.
Good old David.
We love David.
It's like, what else could he do? Oh, I'll just do a podcast.
No, right.
Podcasts are so like, everyone has one nowadays. Like, there's literally there's like, who doesn't have a podcast? It used to be like, just like obscure if you had one.
Yeah.
But now it's like almost fucked.
We just had to conform.
Yeah, it's like, you got a podcast? So is everyone. Loser. You think you're special? You're not. Just saying.
So I did a cool thing this last week. Actually, it started a week ago today.
Okay.
One of my friends at uni, guy called Dan, he's probably my best mate at uni, and he was like a big like David fan, and he and Matt in particular, he loved Matt, and then Capaldi he liked but never really was like fully sold. He didn't really like season 10, and then from season 10 onwards, he's not been with the show.
Can you blame him? No.
But whenever I talk about the show, he's always like, "Oh, you're such a fucking fanboy," and like I get like roasted for it. It's like it's a meme. But we just for some reason had like an hour-long conversation. I'm not kidding, about Doctor Who, and we were both just so excited, just chatting about it. And then one of our good friends, Casey, was there as well, and she just like I don't know. she just was keen to listen, and she's heard me, and she knows Xavier pretty well as well. Like they're quite close. Xavier is another guest that's been on the show in the past. To the great listeners. Yeah, and so she's heard us talk about the show before. And then me and Dan were talking about the Vincent Van Gogh episode. And we were like, just watch it. Like, just watch that episode alone. It's fucking awesome. And then I was like, no. And then we started talking about Midnight as well. And I was like, all right, Casey,
Banger.
your task. If you ever want to get into Doctor Who, watch Midnight and Vincent and Vincent and the Doctor.
Bangers.
These two
bangers,
episodes,
bangers.
they're two great episodes, but also they both, like, Midnight shows how great the show can be at, like, sci-fi elements and how simple it can be, but being really good. Vincent shows how the show can really pull on your heartstrings. So now I've been curating a list for her, and she's watched those two. She loved them. She says she doesn't really have time to commit to watching, like, the whole show right now because it's so big. So I got her, after that, I got her to watch Blink, and she loved that. And next on her list is The Girl in the Fireplace, and then I told her to try The Fires of Pompeii as well, because that one's a little different, but I thought still could be a good one to get her into it.
Fires of Pompeii?
Yeah.
Fires of Pompeii?
I just thought the ending's really good, and I've been showing her the more grounded episodes, if you know what I mean. So I think The Fires of Pompeii will be a good one to test how much she likes the sci-fi ones, because she's quite a sci-fi person.
Recommend Hellbent next, and she'll be sold.
Yes, that sounds great.
How to get someone to watch the show.
Hellbent. But this has also got me thinking, right? I was like, she knows that Pete's my favorite, and I always call him Daddy Pete and stuff. And I'm like, I'd love to get her into some Pete, but there's only one episode that you can be like, this is an insane episode from Pete's run. Because Pete's consistently great, but his episodes get fucked around. And yeah, Heaven Sent. But the thing is, I don't think Heaven Sent is a good one to sell Pete on, just because there is so many external factors that influence that episode.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can just show someone it.
It's not the most, like, exciting one to get drawn into, because he's not versing like a crazy threat. It's emotional for us because we like Pete so much, but it's only emotional if you really like the 12th Doctor, I think. So as a first episode, it's tricky. I think if you're going to watch Pete, you just probably should just go from Deep Breath, I think.
Yeah, I've always wanted to show my best friend Mitchell, I've always wanted to show him Blink, because it's been like a running gag since I was like a youngling that we'd always like joke about how much like Mitch hates Doctor Who and he'll never watch it. But I always wanted, and he's agreed to it, we just haven't done it yet. It's not like he's not going to do it, but I really want to show him Blink. I think we were going to watch it in Margaret River when we went down, but we didn't. So I really want to show him that. I think that's a pretty cool episode to watch, just even if it's just a one-off, because I know he won't watch it no matter how much I ask him to. So I'm like, if I can show him something, which is a bit weird because it is a Doctor Light. But you know, I think he's still in it. Obviously, the Doc's still in it. But I really want to show him that and be like, actually, what did you think? Because come on, you gotta like Blink. Everyone loves Blink. I don't know if anyone doesn't like Blink.
I'm looking forward to it a lot.
It's a shame I rewatched it a few months ago.
I know, but I'm keen. Like when I was listening to some Murray in the car today,
I'll rewatch it.
Suite came on.
Yeah, and, that's brilliant.
It's so recognizable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll rewatch it obviously, because I want to say I'm not gonna like. I don't know if people know this, but we do watch them. Like we actually rewatch them every week.
Yeah.
Even though we don't necessarily have to, because we know them pretty well. But yeah, we rewatch them each week, and whoever comes on has to do it too. Yeah,
it's the rules. Like I said, season 3, Shakespeare Code, I haven't watched that much, but in particular, Gridlock and this Dalek 2-parter that are coming up, didn't really watch that much as a kid, so I'm very excited for these next 2 weeks. I think they're going to be some swell episodes. It's going to be good to have a 2-parter because I just want more Who, and I'm sick of not being able to watch it.
Yeah, I might actually start the Dalek 2-parter tonight, because I watched Gridlock at like 2 a.m. Saturday morning. I came home from the city and I was a bit tipsy. I was like, what would send me right now? And I just thought about that final scene in Gridlock. And I was like, I want to watch that. So I sat and watched Gridlock. I had a whale of a time. It was really fun. So I'm really
Even
enjoying
like
watching it.
Human Nature, Family Blood is another two-parter that I barely watched as a kid. Didn't really like it as a kid.
Gas to rewatch that.
But a couple of years ago, or last time I watched it, whenever it was, maybe like 4 years ago or something, I remember watching it and being like, fuck me, this is so good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, it's good shit.
One of my most nostalgic ones as well. And you know me, I love a bit of nostalgia. So I think I'd say that and the final I'm most excited to watch. Because I think the final was really cool with Jack coming back. Despite what Russell says, it is a three-parter. Me and Aidan, we briefly spoke about this. We don't know if we're going to do a three-part final or if we should just do Utopia.
I reckon we do Utopia separate because I think we'll get Dylan on for Utopia.
Yeah, sure.
Our biggest fan.
Oh, yeah. And also, we can... we're running out of episodes quite quickly, and you know Connor's worried about that, so... Get ready for a sarcastic comment from Aidan in 3, 2, 1, go.
It's like you think people care.
That's really mean. I keep asking Aidan to show me the body stoinks. That's what I call stocks.
Well, because they're not necessarily, like, great, but they're just, like... You know, it's cool to know people are listening.
Show me the stoinks, Aidan.
Well, our estimated audience on each episode, so that I guess that's like the average, is about 23 individual listeners per episode.
That's not bad considering we started like a few months ago.
Yeah, and it's a kids show from the 2000s.
Stoinks.
Yeah. Also, sometime, because I am loving this show, and I want to put a lot into it, I'm going to get myself a podcast mic. I've been doing a few freelance gigs on the side that's going to pay me some decent money. So soon you got to hear me I'm not doing this through a shit mic right now. It's a Rode shotgun microphone, but it's not a podcasting mic. You know, you can't do that ASMR shit with it. So,
well, I noticed recently. I actually kind of want to get one. The Blue Yeti, which is what I use. Blue Yeti just released a new mic. It looks pretty swift, so I might actually cop one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm starting this final show I want to do. And depends. I'm kind of conflicted what I want to do with it, so it depends if I need to get some mics for it or not. But I'm kind of excited about that. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah.
Is it this new this blue one or oh no, when did this come out? I don't know how to.
Blue Yeti one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know when it came out.
It looks very different to mine. I don't know if you know what mine looks like, but it looks very different to mine. You can actually see the volume of your mic on it, which is pretty cool. But I can see the volume of my mic anyway from my laptop, but still.
Yeah.
I record on Audacity, if anyone is interested in that.
You have the audacity to do that?
Oh man, the audacity. Charge me up and put gas in me.
Gas, bro.
Bit of Stormzy for you, Mitch. Not Mitchell.
Wow.
Sorry, too many friends, folks. Too many friends.
Wow, you're just so popular.
Not
I just
really.
hope one day I could be like you.
I've got a few mates I'm very close to. That's about it.
Yeah, well.
I've got a lot of friends on the side who I love to see.
All them side hoes.
Sure. Oh, one of my friends hit me up and was like, I want to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, I'll help you.
Ah, that's cute.
Thank you, Aidan.
You know what?
I'm like, I know a guy who's retiring. His name's Aidan.
I'm not fucking retiring.
I know, I'm joking.
Oh, I'll fight you, honey.
Aidan the donkey.
Oh, hold on. Is this Yeti X?
Yeah. Yeah, it came out recently.
That's looking very tasty.
How much is it?
I think 200, but it could be American dollars. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like they've never been expensive. The Blue Yetis have always been so good for price, and they always sound amazing. Like my one was like $100. Like that for the quality.
Yeah, wow.
For the quality it produces, it's so good. You just watch a little tutorial about how to like work the gain and stuff. I bought a pop filter, but the one that you're gonna get has a pop filter built in, so you won't need one. and I got a little mic stand off Amazon for like $15. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't
the
know if
amount
I'll
of
have one of
quality
them
you
for
can get
my...
is amazing.
Just
Sorry?
because of my setup at my desk, I don't think I'll need one.
You can get little stands for it though. Like, I think it comes with a stand, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, if it comes with one, because obviously I don't just want to hold it.
Yeah, it should
but
come with a stand.
in all the pictures, they seem to have stands they come with, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, you got to.
I've got to do it. And we also confirmed last week, live on air, that we're going to go 2 episodes in December. Are you still feeling confident with that?
Yeah, I am, because you know what, Aidan, I'm watching it so quickly. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Now I won't. I do feel cheeky about doing it. I'll watch the Dark 2 part of this week, but I won't watch any further from that.
Okay, cool. It's nice
I
to know
can't
you're
get too
excited.
ahead.
So
Hey?
it's nice to know you're excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have like someone who's not Rose, to be honest. I watched season 1 and 2 so much. Like, it's nice to watch a season I haven't watched in ages, and I'll have the same from here on out, I think.
Yeah, it's quite refreshing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to rewatch it. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we will be doing 2 a week. I don't know when we're gonna start that. In like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks maybe we'll start filming them.
Well, we'll have
just
to
maybe
if you want to get for Christmas. Voyager Down, we'll have to time it properly.
Yeah, I'll do the math and figure out when we need to release.
I think you said second week of December. I might be wrong though.
Yeah, something like that. I'll have a look into it. Conor, do you have any final thoughts on the Shakespeare Code, my good friend?
I thought it was pretty standard. I've never loved it that much, to be honest. I think it's pretty standard for me, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I did when I watched it last. But I haven't watched it in ages. It's one of those episodes where like, I would never watch it if I was just trying to find an episode to watch. So yeah, I haven't sat down and properly watched it for years, but I thought it was just okay, to be honest. I didn't really have a lot of fun with it. Some cool scenes. It's a bit weird knowing the ride's a bit of a twat. But good old JK.
Good old JK. Conor, what is your rating on the Shakespeare Code out of 10?
It gets, from me, a 4.5 out of 10.
You kidding?
Nah.
Really? You never go that low, and you don't sound like you hate it that much.
Yeah, well, I didn't enjoy it that much. I'm trying to be a positive person these days, Aidan. Yeah, but Aidan, I'm too kind to the show. I let it slide in so much shit. So when I don't enjoy an episode, I want to show it.
I think you went soft in season 2.
Hey?
I think you went soft in season 2.
Yes, dear. I did.
Because this is the lowest score you've given since... Sorry, it's the same... You gave it the same score as Fear Her, Conor.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
But to be honest with you, I enjoyed Fear Her more on like a comedy standpoint.
Fuck me. Conor, I think that this episode is far better than 4.5.
Actually, no. I changed it to a 5.
You're not allowed to change it because of what I'm saying.
I changed to a 5. I was going to say 5, maybe 4.5 is too... Alright, I'm going to give it a 5. A 5, okay. Lock it in. 5.
5. I've got to figure out if 5... I have this thing color coordinated. 5 is, I think, a yellow... Or is it a green?
And it was all yellow.
It was all yellow. Have I ever showed you this document that I use?
Oh yeah, your skin and bones.
Have I ever showed you this document that I have?
No, I really want to see it, hey.
I'll send you a Snapchat after the show. It's pretty extensive, that keeps track of everything week by week.
Show it to me, baby.
Yeah, boy. So, I think this episode was far better than I remember, and even though I don't know, even though I feel like I enjoyed Smith and Jones more as a kid, I enjoyed watching this more than I enjoyed watching Smith and Jones. Smith and Jones, I gave a 7. I'm giving Shakespeare Code a 7.5.
Bruh.
Never thought I'd say that. Gonna be interesting with Gridlock coming up next. Like I said, one I never liked as a kid, but it does have that great scene at the end, and it's Russell's favorite episode he's ever written. And
that's
also,
crazy.
I think there is a lot of like low-key love in the fandom for this episode. Some people hate it, and some people love it.
I thought Steven said it was his favorite that Russell did.
Oh, it might have been that way, right? No, I think it was. I don't know.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
Staying alive.
Aidan dies. If you die, I own. Hit follow. A car will Hit him. Hit him.
It will. Follow us on Twitter at 50doctor or Hannah Mac. Oh, fuck. I fucked up my own rap. Oh,
Look
no.
at that. Look at that.
Oh, Connor, you just say it. I'm so disappointed now.
Okay. That's alright, so am I. You can follow us on Twitter at 50doctor. You can follow me on Twitter at Hannah Conor. And you can follow Aidan at AidanGGPro.
Did you say GG Pro?
I actually don't remember yours. Isn't it just Aidan Pro? No,
It's
Pro.
Greenie_Pro. It's just Greenie Productions, but like
Greenie
Pro instead of
GG Pro.
Productions.
Sorry.
Yeah, follow me at GG Pro on my new Twitter account. YouTube channel coming soon for it, GG Pro.
Or you can follow us on YouTube at Greenie Who. Although I don't suggest that because Aidan doesn't update the fucking episodes, so it's no
Shut the
point.
fuck up. If you want to do any of any of this behind this, if you want to edit things, if you want to, just come at me, Connor. All right, you can fucking do it. Actually, I don't trust you to edit the raw episodes. That's my baby to do.
Excuse me. Okay, this is why I don't champion with it because you would say some shit like that.
Connor, all I'm saying is you got 2 podcasts, and okay, no, yeah, I get it. You do the clips now for a laugh. But for a long time, Dan was editing that podcast.
Yeah,
too.
but no. To be fair, our podcast literally it just edits itself.
I know it does
live.
now because you got a fancy thing.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault. I've always done the clips. Actually, Aidan, by the way, and also Dan doesn't upload to his channel each week. So called out, Daniel. Called out.
Connor.
If you do want to watch my other podcast, it is a 4 Laugh podcast. You can find every episode of that on YouTube, actually.
I'm going to start bleeping it out every time you promote it. It's my rival podcast.
You've been on it.
Connor, what's the other podcast you do called?
Suck my nuts, Aidan.
No, what's it called?
You've been on it.
Connor, what's it called? Tell me what's it called.
4 Laugh podcast.
Sorry, I couldn't hear it over the beep I added in post-production.
Podcast.
Well, sorry, what was it?
4 podcast.
Can you say it louder?
4 Laugh podcast, 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 4 Laugh podcast. Have fun bleeping all those out, Aidan. 4 Laugh podcast.
You'll have to message me at Connor. I still didn't get that one.
4 Laugh podcast.
Listen. Listen. I love you.
You too, boo. Come back on the 4 Laugh podcast.
I won't
You're going to have so much fun
because
bleeping them out.
That one was wholesome.
Thank you.
No worries, Connor. Listeners, thank you so much for listening. I know we ramble a lot sometimes in the ends of the episodes, but that's what we're here to do. I hope you just enjoy the witty banter that Connor and I, the host of 4 Laugh Podcast, present.
Wait, what? We host
I
this
said
thing?
it.
Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
Whoa.
Bruh. Yeah, come on.
Connor, thank you so much for doing this with me. Week in, week out. It is good fun. I'm enjoying it. Looking forward to Gridlock.
It's really great. What?
That's fucking it.
Yeah, that's literally my whole review. Don't even tune in next week. Nah. I have a lot more to say about it next week. I'm looking forward to drinking some eggnog with Aidan at Christmas.
Great episode.
With a bit of Jameson added to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more than a bit.
Ooh.
Or maybe Aidan can come to the pub with me afterwards. Aidan never sees me outside the show. He literally texts me hate messages saying how much he hates me. And how much he doesn't want to see me.
I'm not denying
I haven't gone to the
anything.
pub with Aidan
Connor.
since like fucking Feb.
What was that?
I haven't gone to the pub with you since like February or some shit.
No, but to be fair, the only times I do anything social is on the way back from shoots because I'm a busy boy. On Friday and Saturday nights, I do my internship, so it's just literally like it's like 10 p.m. on a Friday night, and we just finished our internship, and we're like, I guess we'll just go to the pub for an hour before we collapse. Like,
Did I say this on the podcast? When you were texting me, not texting, when you were Snapchatting me, you're at the Comedy Lounge. I thought you were just going to see shows.
oh really?
Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that?
I just got really addicted to the Comedy Lounge, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, why are you going so much? Like, you kept doing it every night. I'm like, damn, Aidan's really getting into comedy. I was like, I didn't know you liked comedy that much. Do you, like, when you're filming, is it hard not to laugh?
Sometimes, more when the unpredictable things happen. Because I see a lot of the same acts multiple times. And a lot of the things that you think are, like, spontaneous really aren't.
Right.
which kind of gets rid of the magic a lot of the time. But then again, you do get people like no one in the UK is going to know what we're talking about here. Kath and Kim, the guy that played Brett. So he's a pretty big actor in Australia. He did a set last weekend, which was really cool to see. I got to film a star. I was within a meter with him, operating a camera on him. Like it was a pretty cool experience, and he was hilarious. And I've seen 2 of his shows, and they're both like, whilst they were the same in terms of format, his crowd interaction is literally what run it. So he just improvised the entire show pretty much. Like he had a couple of bits he would talk about and do the same ones, but I'd say a good 50% of it was just based off of working with the crowds and stuff, which was just awesome to see such a talented man.
50%. Do you see people bomb?
Oh yeah,
that's really bad. That would make me cringe. I honestly, that makes me stuck in. Wait, do you get to see like a lot of new acts?
Sometimes on Thursday nights I do a thing called Gong Night. Nearly said Bong Night. Gong Night.
So if you like flop, they gong you off.
Yeah, like people hold up signs that say like gong or go home, and then if there's like a few of those signs up, then the MC will gong you and you get sent off.
That's so fucked.
It is. And literally the first thing we ever shot was a gong night there. And the first like 2 people fucking failed hard. And it was so awkward. And I was like, what have we gotten ourselves into? But there is some hilarious, talented people there. I'd recommend going to the Comedy Lounge, Perth City.
If you want to see Aidan, your second favourite host of the 50%.2 podcast, and he said For a Laugh podcast, what that Aidan.
That's right. Obviously not the favourite host, Daniel Aid, who seems to run the show whenever he comes on. Oh, hold on. We get Dan on next week, don't we? It's Gridlock. He wanted to do Gridlock.
Yeah, I don't know, hey, because he said I'd like to do it, and I kind of just like was like he literally said on my podcast, the For a Laugh podcast that we shot on Saturday, he was like, am I coming on for Gridlock? And I was like, I have no idea.
We'll get him on for Gridlock. Conor, let's sing.
Oh, okay.
Get your ruler.
Oh, Aidan beat me to it this week. You knew it. You just knew it, didn't you? Oh, Aidan's on.
Why did this take us so long to wrap up the episode?
Hey?
It took us so long to fucking wrap up the episode. I feel like we did our scores 30 minutes ago.
No.
Conor, sing.
Right.
Sing, baby, sing.
You just love hearing my voice. All right, ready?
That's it. It's so soothing. That's why I love to edit the show.
Thank you.
It's my favourite hobby.
And a 2, and a 1.
It's Aidan and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Do Doctor Who reviews.
Got it, Aidan.
Why are we so weird? What is wrong with us?
I'm gonna get kicked out of my house one day.
Fuck me. I am ending this show now.
Cut it!